Alex. Alex.
Yeah, maybe I should go first because mine sucks. um,
Just with your best suck.
I blame Alex for this. He did not give me
What?
much time. Um,
You could have said no.
I did not have much time to pick. So, um, I played Pocket Mortys. It's
Oh, I talked about that last year.
not on a Game Talk though, right?
No, it was on the knockoff episode.
Gotcha. Okay, good. Um, this is a an app for your mobile devices, and it's where you play as Rick from the hit TV show Rick and Morty, which I am not particularly a fan of. But you collect different Mortys, and you it's like basically the exact same thing as Pokemon, except you're collecting Mortys, like different forms of Morty, like of him in different either attitudes or different states of living, and you travel the world through this weird like teleporter, and you collect badges, which they're called badges, but there's no point to it other than it's just like a token, and you collect more different Mortys, and it's everything that like that Pokemon is. This is except it also has, like the mobile game stuff where it's like you can buy upgrades and buy different Mortys with real money. Which, good lord, if you were a person that was doing that, I mean, you need to really adjust your priorities in life. But it did have one thing that I like, which is a crafting system. So as you're progressing through the game, you can collect things that you see on the ground, and it's not all just potions, which are called serums in this, but it's not all just that. It's like little trinkets that you can use to actually craft items, which actually is a pretty cool idea that they should probably put in Pokemon. Which just it's another way to expand it. But just like Alex said, they probably won't because nobody gives a shit when they play Pokemon. They just like seeing Pikachu. I'm a little bit. I mean, disappointed is a weird word because my expectations were not exactly like in the clouds. Um, but I was surprised at the lackluster nature. Like I thought that they would put voice acting in it because those characters are so iconic. Like I thought that you would get to hear them talk more often. But no, you just read the dialogue. I was just very disappointed at the lack of effort that went into it. But like as far as phone games go, it's pretty much what you would think of when you think of like I hate phone games. It meets all those requirements.
So why? Okay, so if you're not a fan of Rick and Morty, which is fine, I do like that show, but I'm just asking out of curiosity, what compelled you to play the game?
Because it was like Pokemon, and
No.
I was like, I mean, I don't hate Rick and Morty. I just don't. I don't watch it actively or follow it. I've liked a couple episodes, and it's like, well, it's interesting that they made a game out of that. Like, I'd be curious. I read some reviews, and they weren't exactly glowing, but I said, maybe there's something there. But there really isn't much. Even with fans, I don't know if they really would really like it that much.
So I've asked my kids, like, not my birth children, just the that I work with.
I was like, whoa, Teddy
No.
has kids?
Yeah, surprise button mapper reveal, 2022. What up? Bad life. So I've asked my kids, what is the deal with Rick and Morty? Because I don't watch it, and maybe it's like past my time. And they said it's like dark humor, like is probably the best way to describe what the series has going for it. How true does that reign, and then how does it apply to the game?
I don't think it's dark. At least what I've seen, it hasn't been that dark. To me, it's
Pessimistic. That's what it is.
yeah, maybe. It To me, it's just like Adult Swim. Like it just kind of follows the same, all the like a lot of Adult Swim tropes, which is like really, really, almost like meta comedy or just like goofy. Just like people, people have said that it to them Rick and Morty is like a really intellectual show, and I don't really understand that. Like I get that they're like it's very sci-fi oriented and has to do with some science-y concepts, but outside of that I don't really understand the other part. Maybe I just don't follow the lore or don't know the show as well and I'm missing a key function here. But as far as the game goes, it has like in the writing it has little pieces of that, like that there's some like chuckle worthy lines that are in there if you're reading closely. Like if you do like one of the badge fights, it'll say like they can give you more money. I can't remember what the currency is in it, but it's not normal money. But if they can give you more money if you watch like a video, like those terrible phone apps tend to do. Like if you watch this advertisement, we'll give you some more money. And then you can select no. And I guess I appreciate that if you select no, it says, well, we'll just stare at each other right now and be miserable. It's something like that. So there's like a little like tongue-in-cheek, like, okay, you're not going to play this phone thing, we'll play around with you or something. So I can appreciate that, and it's chuckle-worthy, but certainly not like, don't expect like a full experience of Rick and Morty going into it.
Yeah, I said I enjoy the show. To kind of answer your question a little more, Teddy, I think it's Rick and Morty is to me always felt very pessimistic. In fact, like in the way that they present the world, because they try to present everything through science. Like even like the idea of love is just explained as like a chemical in your brain. It doesn't mean anything to the characters. But which I guess that's the humor of it, is just like how cynical everything is in the show. But to me, Rick and Morty always felt like a show about smart ideas for dumb people, because people like to say like, oh, it's so intellectual, but really what they're saying is like, oh, they talk about like a scientific theory, and that's it. Like that's just like the basis for the episode. It doesn't explore that. It's just like uses that for the episode. Yeah. So there's the idea of like multiple universes and stuff. Which again, I like the show. I'm a big fan of Dan Harmon, who also did Community, which is a great show. So
it's good for like 2 seasons.
Well, 3 seasons. 4 is where it gets bad. So anyway. Just saying, that's what Rick and Morty is, really.
Who'd win in a fight, Rick or Morty?
Rick.
Yeah, well, Morty is just like a dumb boy,
a spineless kid.
Yeah, Rick would vaporize him.
Rick's like a egotistical like genius.
There's no like underdog scenario.
Rick and Morty, a true underdog story.
Morty grows the spine.
Yeah,
according to science.
Now, I mentioned it before. I never actually played this one much, but in terms of just like the battling, how close is it to Pokemon?
It's like 1-to-1.
Okay.
Again with that cynical look on the world, it has a rock paper scissors system like Pokemon does, except it's literally just rock paper and scissors. Like some of them have rock, some of them have scissors, some of them have paper, and so that it. But otherwise, I mean, it's literally the exact same thing as Pokemon. Like if you've played it, you would know exactly how to play. It's like a 1-to-1 basically. It's a little bit harder in some ways, but not by much.
So it's like a parody game, though, basically.
Yeah, and I just wish I'm just disappointed at some of the attempts at cashing in, but I guess I shouldn't be that surprised because like. If the game is, if the makers of it are cynical about this kind of thing, but then do it themselves, it's a little bit like, what are you really trying to say? Because you just did it.
Yeah, what it yeah, it's
Like-
like yeah, no, it's like I couldn't imagine actually like spending money on this game. This is like a game that I would download to like be like, ha, and then I would just delete it.
Yeah. Just become Nelson Muntz for 20 seconds.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. All right. What else I do with my day? Yeah. I can imagine being like, I have to get fish Morty.
Yeah.
Did you see Lamp Morty?
Some of them are very uninspired. It's kind of disappointing.
What was the lamest one you saw?
I can't. I have it right here. Let me check because my party has some of that. Your Mortys. I'm going into the Your Mortys section, and my Mortys are Morty, which is who you start with. Scruffy Morty. Blue Shirt Morty. Mind Blower Morty.
Ori. Ooh.
Mori in the Blind Forest.
Ori.
But
Morty
Scruffy Morty is Morty, except his hair has a couple like wrinkle things in it. And then Blue Shirt Morty, predictably, is Morty with a blue shirt.
Mm.
And then Mind Blower Morty is actually interesting. It's Morty with like a futuristic helmet on.
And play.
Rick and Morty, everybody. That's all I got.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.